Scorpio, and welcome to your September general reading. I'll have my love readings out in the next few days, so check them out as well. And I'm still shuffling the cards because you've got this position and I don't quite understand its meaning, so I'm going to seek greater clarity. So you've got the Star card there. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. These are the two cards that you're going to bring with you from end of August over into September. Definitely change and movement. The Sun is about personal joy. It's about self-realization, coming out of dark personal places into the light, basically. And the Chariot is about forward motion. So you're entering September. Some of you, after a few very positive end of August, and I really hope that everyone watching gets those two cards, because it's not every day two cards like that show up in a reading. So brilliant, love it. Now you've got a really interesting card for what you most want, and you've got the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a very traditional card. It's about society, the rules of society. I think there's some Scorpios who want a love bond to become more concrete. But that message is maybe only for a few people watching, because you've got the King of Cups in your love house, okay? So maybe it's a relationship that you want to become much more stabilized, like marriage, that sort of thing. But it's not going to be for all of you. So for other Scorpios, I pulled the Star card. So what you most want is, the Star card's about new era in life. She is naked because she is vulnerable. She allows herself to be seen by other people. It also represents a state of grace. And a state of grace is what controls the whole universe. We think we're in charge, but we're really not. The Star card represents this binding energy that connects everything and everyone. And I think for some Scorpios, what you most want is this, to feel grace and to see it working in your life. So when we see grace working in our life, things sort of effortlessly come together. Serendipity, coincidences. But remember, to feel grace, you have to allow yourself to be very vulnerable, to not control things, to not believe that you, for us not to believe that we are in charge. We have to almost surrender to a greater power. That's what the Star card represents, grace and the universe that holds it all together. So what's helping you is the Queen of Wands. So for those that connect with the Hierophant more, this Queen of Wands could be some sort of person they are in relationship with, and they want it to become more committed, more stable. So yeah, it'd be a really committed relationship. But for you who connect more with the Star card, the Queen of Wands is about passion. She's about aliveness, full of vitality, eros, the life force. She is the queen that everyone loves, because she's been through some incredible battle scars, but she's lived to tell the tale, and people are drawn to her because of her wisdom and her passion and her humanity. And her humanity comes from the fact she's been through what she's been through, and she's got the humility to keep herself down to earth. Beautiful with the Star card, these two, because there's a realness and a genuineness about your energy, Scorpio, and I love seeing that. I really love it. Now, what's going against you is a Four of Swords. So some of you might be exhausted, by the way. The Four of Swords is my exhaustion card, needing to rest. And sometimes when you're tired, you're not going to be in the Queen of Wands when you're tired. For some Scorpios, you might be feeling a bit isolated. So you feel that you can't quite passionately move out into the world in the way that you want to. There can be a feeling of being a bit disconnected. It's going to mean different things to different people. But the challenge for you to move to the state of grace, and the Queen of Wands is your supportive energy, is this Four of Swords. And as a challenge, again, I'm getting the same thing. There's either a lot of tiredness, or some Scorpios just feel isolated and they're not quite sure how to move outwards and connect with people. It can be incredibly, incredibly difficult, especially for Scorpio, because you rule the depth and you don't relate at a superficial manner. So it can often leave you feeling different from others. But it's because you relate to passion and you relate from your depth. You're not exactly superficial, basically. And I mean that in the most positive light, because near am I, okay? So I get that feeling sometimes of not knowing how to connect with other people, so feeling cut off. This is what you got, guys, okay? Relationships, you got the King of Cups. So that's how I feel for some Scorpios. There's a relationship that you want to make more official with the Hierophant and the King of Cups, okay? He's your soulmate character, the King of Cups. He's a really mature bond. Some people call him the King of Cool. He rules, he's compassionate, he's willing to reveal himself. Even on a deeper level, the King of Cups, he sits on the ocean, okay? So the ocean is the collective emotions, okay? It could be emotions coming from one other person or the culture as a rule. The King of Cups keeps his own throne. He's in charge of his own emotions, so he doesn't lose his cool. He keeps his integrity, he keeps his sovereignty. He is the boss, basically. Yeah, in the most loving way. He responds, he doesn't react, which is great maturity and great depth, which most of us get there through many trials and many mistakes, which is the Queen of Wands, basically. That's really interesting. I think some Scorpios are definitely moving to that marriage commitment. Others of you who have this sort of desire for this new era, this state of grace and wanting to connect more. The King of Cups again is great because he has the emotional ability to connect at depth. So what is it they say? Learning to listen to others. He could be the counsellor, okay? Which means he cares about other people and he engages at a very mature emotional level. I love that there. Workhouse, you've got the Three of Wands, so there could be a bit of waiting, okay, for something to come back. Some of you have turned your back on something, and so you've moved away from that too, that indecisiveness, and you're moving forward. But maybe for some of you, you've had to turn your back on one chapter regarding work, and you're moving to new horizons. Some of you could be waiting. I am not sure. Again, general reading. Your inner life, you've got the Temperance. So I really, really like where you're at. That King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Star card. I really like where you're at. And the Queen of Wands, now the Temperance is about spiritualizing your emotions. Now all that means is listening to your instincts, okay? It's blending different elements and blending different parts of yourself. It's connecting your mind and your heart, so you're moving in alignment. Because when we blend our mind and our hearts, we know which direction we're going in. It's not that we still don't meet trials and tribulations, because that's just part of our experience on earth. I don't think that's ever going to change. But temperance is about having an emotional balance, a bit like the King of Cups, because they're both on the water, see? But they're both floating in the water, which means they're not drowning in their emotions. You're swimming rather than drowning. You have this emotional balance, no extremities of behaviour. And the outcome for now is the Emperor. So the Emperor is the ultimate manifester. He is number 4. He's about reaching stability, security, can represent an Aries that you're involved with. He's the energy of I will set forth. If this is a career reading, I'll set forth and I'll broaden my horizons and I'll reach my personal goals. That's the sense I'm getting with that Emperor. Emotionally, he can be a bit cut off, but I'm not getting that at all for you. So far from it, Scorpio. I'm getting this incredible emotional depth. And I think what I'm getting towards the end of September, you're almost getting to a level where you feel good and you're looking to the other polarity, which is to go out and work on career, money, and building on another level of your life, because we need all of it for a healthy balance. Some of us easily can work with our emotions, but find it harder to go out and manifest a career. And sometimes it's the total opposite. So there's no right and wrong here. There's only the individual. But I think you've got a month of incredible emotional depth, feeling at one, feeling guided, feeling connected. There might be a sense of feeling a bit disconnected and a bit, sorry, I did connected to your own depths. I can't give you an easy answer to that 4 of Swords, because to be a Scorpio means you're drawn to the depths of human life. So superficiality is never going to do it for you guys. And the only way to satisfy that Queen is your key card, is to do the things that bring you passion. I have no idea what that is. Only you can decide. But relating at a shallow level is never going to do it, and you have to accept yourself for who you are, or no one else is going to. Okay, Scorpio, I hope this helped, and I'll be back with your love readings in the next few days. Okay, bye.